Great. Coach, why don't you begin with an opening statement?
Yeah, proud of our guys. Thought we came out tonight with the right energy and the right mentality to stay consistent and keep this thing moving forward. Wound up winning an SEC game going away. That's always hard to do and really impressive. We outrushed them 299 to 77. It's going to win you a lot of football games in this conference when you can control the physical matchup like that. We were really good on third down on defense, which I think is critical against an offense like that because, the tempo and the pace can't really get going until they get first downs. And so if you could be really good on third down, that really helps. We were really good on offense on third down. It was our best third down night of the year. And so, we won the time of possession 38-21. And that's another thing that's really, really big when you're playing those spread offenses that are trying to build reps and build tempo. And so thought we did a lot of really, really good things. Obviously offensively wasn't the best first half. Thought we stayed with it. So we kept pounding away, kept grinding at it. And obviously I think we ultimately wore them down in the second half a little bit. And again, it's another 260 margin yard game. And so just got to keep grinding, continue to get better. And, we're going to have a really, really good Florida team coming in here next week. And we'll have to get ready for that. So from there, we'll open it up to questions.
Front left, Olin.
Yeah, Mike, can you share with us what your disposition might have been like at halftime, and what kind of words of wisdom did you say to get them going?
No, very calm. The thought that coaches come in and start throwing things, it really wasn't that. I think we had to find ways to get Marcel settled down. I think we all knew that. He saw some things not clean enough, missed a couple throws. We had the turnover as we were getting in the red zone to score points. We had the fourth down stop again as we were going in to score points. And so, it wasn't all negative in the first half, but we had to find ways to get into a rhythm. And so it really was more just about you're in an SEC football game. SEC football games are not easy. They're going to be four-quarter football games. And so get this out of your mind that this thing is going to go clean and smooth and just go out there and compete and grind. And we did that in the second half, and we were able to have some success.
And I wanted to ask about if you could share what kind of defensive adjustments might have been made after that first long drive for the field goal. They really didn't move the ball again until late. Yeah,
I think there's always a little bit of a feeling out when you play that tempo in the offense and the pace that they go at, and it always usually takes you a drive or two to get settled in. And so I don't know that we made a ton of adjustments or did things a lot different. I just think we were able to kind of adapt to how they were trying to attack us. I thought we had a good feel for how they were trying to attack us, and maybe our kids just got a little bit more comfortable with how to run the defense against what they were trying to do to us.
Coach, front right, Tony.
Coach, obviously back-to-back weeks, Damian Sanford stepped into a starting role here. Can you just talk about the impact he's made and what's allowed him to be so successful?
Yeah, first of all, he's a phenomenal kid. He works really hard in practice. Mentally, he never ever blinked. When he didn't win the starting job or he didn't have the role that he wanted to have the first few weeks, he just wanted to know what he could do to keep playing. And I told him, I said, I love you. You just got to keep working. You got to keep grinding. Your chance is going to come, and you just got to be ready. And his chances come, and he's played really, really well. And so, had another really, really big night tonight.
To the left, second row, Aaron.
Hey, Coach. You guys scored more rushing yards tonight than Mississippi State did total offensive yards. Could you just speak more on the rushing game and how you'd say it's gotten to where it is now as opposed to maybe the beginning of the year?
Yeah, again, people were worried about it. I wasn't. We weren't unsuccessfully rushing the ball in the beginning of the year. We just weren't really featuring that part of the game for a variety of reasons. But this is the second week in a row that in an SEC football game, when we had to get big and physical, we were able to get big and physical and pound out yards. And yards are hard to come by running in this conference. There's so many big athletic bodies, and our offensive line is doing a really good job. Our backs are doing a really good job. It was awesome to see Ruben go out tonight and have the night that he had, running for 142 yards and really carrying the rock the way he did. It was really cool to see, and that's a big part of success in this conference, and we got to continue to do it.
Coach, front right, Carter.
this season that Cassius Howell's put together. Just what's kind of impressed you now, up to 7 sacks in 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's really good. We tried to tell everybody that in the offseason, and nobody really wanted to hear that. But he's a really talented football player. He's really good at rushing the passer. That's something he does really well too. And so, it starts there. And then I just think, we've been able to get in some situations, especially the last couple weeks, where it's been, you get back into a more normal game where you can go after people on third down. They throw the ball on third down. The first 2 weeks were so strange with some of the third down play calling and how it all worked itself out. Now that you're into a normal, SEC world, and you can scheme some things up for him, you can get him into some matchups and allow him to use his skill sets and use his talents, and he was certainly able to do that tonight.
And Moss came out of the game for a little bit, came back in. Just where's he at, and how? You mentioned it a little bit, but Ruben, what really stood out with his performance tonight?
Yeah, Lev got dinged up a little bit, so he was battling through some things. He should be fine coming out of it, but we wanted to kind of make sure he was okay. And then Ruben was playing so well that it kind of made it an easy decision to just stick with Ruben, ride him tonight. I thought he had his best 2 weeks of practice the last 2 weeks. I think he is starting to understand, not just being a talented back in open space, but how to hit lines and angles to get into open space a little bit more consistently. And I think you're just starting to see him become a more complete back, and he's got unbelievable open field ability. He's learning how to become a back, between the tackles, which will obviously allow him in this conference to get into open field a little bit more often. And so it's been really good to see his development.
To the left, second row, Alex.
When the offense started getting going there in that third quarter, is that about as good a complementary football that you've seen from this team so far this season throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at the numbers and you look at how that game played out in totality, I think that was the cleanest, most largest margin of separation between both sides of the ball. There's still obviously a ton of things that we can fix and improve and get better at, but. I think we played really complimentary in the second half. We were getting stops on defense, which kept their offense on the field, which really kind of, I think, got them a little bit tired, and certainly got the crowd going and really got a lot of energy into that building.
And you mentioned how you said at halftime y'all needed to get Marcel settled in. Just from what you could see without looking at the film yet, just what did you see from him in the second half that he was able to be more consistent in the passing game?
Yeah, he's a good player. He just, sometimes, in the first half, sometimes it was a rush, sometimes it was a guy in his throw lane, and he just got a little bit fast with his feet and his mechanics. And I think in the second half, Colin did a really good job of getting some rhythm throws, some things that were a little bit cleaner and quicker for him, some little bit less over the middle. We worked the outside part of the field a little bit more, which opened some vision for him, which was really good, and I think it just kind of worked out that way.
Front right, Travis.
Hey, Mike, going back to Damian, what about his skill sets fit so well into the system?
Yeah, I mean, he's really athletic. He's really physical. I think he's starting to get more and more comfortable in what we're doing. That's been great to see. He's a really good blitzer. He's got a lot of twitch and athleticism. And so, he fits exactly. He's a really good complement with Torian. I think the two of them play really well out there together. They're very comfortable together. And so, he played really, really well tonight.
And when you do have to have those kind of conversations that says, be ready, can you usually tell pretty quickly how well that's received from different guys?
Yeah, I think we have a really, really good culture and a really good locker room. I think there's been so many instances of that showing out in our 2 years here. And so, you can see it for sure, but it's been something that has played out really, really well for us.
Coach all the way in the back, Donna.
Coach, felt a little extra loud in here tonight. How pleased were you with the environment the 12th man was able to create?
Yeah, the 12th man was phenomenal. Appreciate everybody coming out in the blackout. I went and put the black on just to represent for them. It was awesome driving in, seeing how many people were in black tonight. It's really cool to see them. They're always behind Texas A&M football, but I think they're starting to get behind this program, specifically the Coach Elko version of Texas A&M football, and that's just really awesome. And so we're always thankful for them. They always show up for us. I think I saw it was the 5th largest crowd again in stadium history. So I think that's the 3rd time this year that we've hit a top 10 crowd. And so, it's a phenomenal place to coach. It's a phenomenal place to be because of them.
Third row, right, Jesus.
Coach, obviously you appreciate touchdowns, but that effort on that Concepcion touchdown, the first one, what does that do for the team to just fight to get in that end zone?
On the what? I'm sorry.
On the touchdown, Casey Concepcion's touchdown?
Yeah. I think obviously we were really struggling at that point, and we certainly didn't want to try to punch it in from the 2 at that point because that wasn't really what we wanted to do. And so there was an unbelievable effort by him, a second effort by him to kind of grind his way through it and finish that thing in the end zone. And then obviously going up high and climbing the ladder on the second touchdown when it was still a really, really tight game. And that was another really big play. And so, he didn't have a ton of catches tonight, but the two big ones he had really impacted the game.
Front left, Mark.
Okay. Following up a little bit on Jesus' question, can you talk a little bit about the energy that KC brings? I mean, like that pushing his way into the end zone on that touchdown, the returns where he's stutter stepping his way up. Yeah. Just the level of energy that he brings to the offense.
Yeah, I don't know if it's energy as much as I would define it, Mark, as like strength. Like he's a lot stronger than you would think given his demeanor. And I saw that honestly firsthand when we played him when I was at Duke. The year we played him when he was at NC State, they played him at running back a lot. And they were handing the ball off to him between the tackles, and he was really a hard kid to tackle. And I think he's got really, really powerful lower body strength, and I think he's got a really good ability to change direction. And so you have an intense competitor who's got the strength to get through arm tackles and break more tackles than I think you would give him credit for, and then I think that kind of gives the energy behind how he plays the game, because when you break tackles, that gets the crowd going, and I think that's kind of what you feel.
You have always placed an emphasis on third downs, getting off the field. 2 SEC games, your defense has now allowed 1 first down on third or fourth down in 25 opportunities. How impressed are you with what they've been able to do, to get off the field?
We've been good so far. We got 6 more to go. No, I'm joking, of course. Yeah, obviously, it's a big part of the game. It's a big part of what we do. We've been able to put together 2 really good plans. Obviously, the distance helps too. I think the last 2 games we've been able to keep them in some more third and long type situations, and that's always helpful as well. We got to continue to do that.
Coach will stay on the left, 4th row.
So I want to go back to something you said earlier about, the 12th man community getting now bought into the Mike Elko era. What do you think has kind of driven this? You've brought in some of the biggest crowds now that Kyle Field has ever seen in these last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're winning, that helps. There's no doubt about that. I would hope maybe to some degree it's the humility that this program is showing. I would hope a little bit that it's how this program is taking on being Aggies and being part of this Bryan College Station community. I think those things go a long way. And then I think it's maybe I think we're trying to get a little bit clean and consistent with our messaging so that the fans are very clear what we're asking. And I think we did a really good job marketing the blackout. I think everybody who came to the game tonight knew it was, you know what I mean? And I think those things maybe have improved here in the last year and a half. They've certainly been a huge emphasis for us to market this program at a higher level. And I just think that that's maybe all together kind of tied into a bunch of people that have a lot of excitement and energy about what's going on with Texas A&M football right now.
Coach all the way in the back.
Coach, for this team to continue to stay poised after kind of a slow start there, what do you think that says about their ability to come out here, not really seem rattled, and to just keep plugging away?
Yeah, I think it shows that they got a lot of confidence in what they're capable of. Again, we'd love to start faster. We'd love to make plays earlier. We'd love to create separation in the game earlier. But when you're struggling, I think the 2 things that have showed up consistently is anytime one side of the ball has been struggling, the other side of the ball has stood up. That's a really great sign for a winning football team. And then I think there hasn't been panic from the time that the team that's been struggling. If you go back to Notre Dame on the sideline, there wasn't panic on the defense. There was just a look of, okay, what do we got to do? How do we fix this? How do we go out on the next drive and try to make a stop? It wasn't, pointing fingers. It wasn't frustration. It was just, what do we got to do to fix this? That's what you kind of saw tonight from the offense. You didn't see this mass panic. You didn't see guys worried about it was just kind of, okay, what do we got to do? Get to the bench. Let's figure this out. Let's keep grinding away. Let's figure out what we got to do. And ultimately, we kind of unlocked the gate a little bit and started having more success in the second half.
Anything else for Coach?
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We will have
podium. Who would like to get us started? Let's go to left side, second row, to Alex Miller from the Eagle.
Hey, Ruben, over here. What do you just feel like's allowed you guys to really open up this run game over the last 2 games in particular?
We've been practicing hard, just pushing. We're gonna push, you know what I'm saying? And then like, once you just keep through the first and second quarter, once you just keep putting your body on the body, teams ain't gonna want to keep doing that. And then as we got later in the game, things were just popping.
Let's go front row to Travis Brown from KBTX.
When you have guys like Casey and Mario taking the jet sweeps around the outside, how much does that kind of open stuff up the middle to give you the middle of the running lanes?
It opens it up a lot, you know, having guys like that can get around the edge with speed. The team, they can't stack the box, so we just, as the game going, we just able to gash them as the game for longer goes.
How do you analyze Nate Borkacher's carrying abilities so far?
Good, man. He be blocking his butt off, man, and I love it.
Questions? Let's go to the left side front to Olin Buchanan from Texags.
Hey, Ruben, did Coach Elko say anything at halftime that kind of inspired y'all to have a big second half?
He just told us we hurting ourselves, you know, our penalties was hurting us, you know what I'm saying? We come out and just play the game that we were prepared to play, that we're going to do what we did in the second half, and that's what happened, so.
Front row right to Tony from the Austin American-Statesman.
Ruben, obviously you're doing your thing and you're focused on that, but Damian Sanford had another big night, back-to-back week. What have you seen from him in practice in his time here that has allowed him to be so successful?
Dame, man, Dame, like he my best friend. Like me and Dame, we got classes together, we kick it together the whole fall camp. So I'm just like, bro, I just tell him you gotta wait on your opportunity. Like I knew he was a ball player, so, and he practiced hard. So him just going out there and showing what he can do, just show everyone what he can do, it just really solidified him. So yeah.
Let's go right side middle to Jesus.
Ruben, what is Casey Concepcion's effort on that touchdown due to the team? And when you're watching that happen, what are you thinking?
When I'm watching that, I'm just like, Casey's not really a big guy, but him able to push to get in the end zone for us, it just means a lot, you know what I'm saying? Not too many receivers would do that, so him getting that end zone right there, it meant a lot to us.
Left side, second row to Aaron from SI.
Hey, Rube. Second straight week, another 108,000 plus crowd at Kyle Field. Just what does the energy from that crowd do for you guys?
They do a lot, you know. Kyle, they come out every game, every home game packed out, and then that just make us want to go harder for them. So, and then when you make a big play and you just hear that crowd noise, it hit different.
Right side front to Carter from 247, and then Mark.
Ruben, when Le'Veon kind of went out of the game for a little bit, they really started to lean on you. I'm just curious what your kind of mindset was at that time, and as far as wanting to kind of take over the game and establish yourself.
When they went down, it was just, you know what I'm saying, you never want no one to go down, but you know what I'm saying, next man got to be up. It can't be no fall off. It got to be the same thing. And you know what I'm saying, I'm just glad I was able to get the opportunity and then to show what I got.
And I know, I think it was your birthday a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So how special is it? I guess it's kind of the birthday weekend.
Yeah.
So how special is that to have a performance like that?
It was real special, you know. I was trying to get a touchdown, you know. I really wanted a touchdown, but I'm glad with what we did, and we got the win, so that's a great birthday gift.
Left side front to Mark from On3.
Ruben, you said that things started popping in the second half. Could you sense those guys starting to wear down up front as you guys controlled the line of scrimmage?
For sure, you can as the game prolongs, you could just tell that they getting tired. And, you know, they safeties first half safeties coming down, trying to lay a hit on you. As the game come down, they don't want to keep doing that. There's body blows on body blows, and like Coach Troop said, we go see who flinched first, and they flinched first. So.
Right side front to Travis, and then Matthias.
You mentioned the conversations you had with Damian. What is it extra special to have a game where y'all both were kind of standouts on both sides from some of those conversations you had?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, Dame, my brother, man. I'm just glad. I'm glad he popped it like that. These past 2 games he's been going up, so it really meant a lot to me that he was able to do that.
You mentioned the conversations you had with him about him staying in there and waiting for his time. Was that reciprocated back to you? And,
Yeah, it was. We had the same conversation. He was telling me, bro, you just gotta wait your opportunity, and I was just telling him he gotta wait on his opportunity. Like the time go come, and it's gonna show. So.
Did y'all talk to each other on the sidelines or anything, or after the game today about kind of the game y'all had?
Oh yeah, we was talking on the sideline. We talked on the when he got that pick. We talked on the sideline. Then when he got that first sack, I was like, yeah, bro, yeah, I told you. And then same thing, vice versa.
Left side middle to the battalion.
Coach Elko kind of mentioned you being, really dynamic in space, but kind of still learning how to run between the tackles. How would you kind of evaluate your development in that kind of idea?
I say just coming off that Litz rank, I had to get my movements back, and then I feel like as the season has been going on this year, I'm back in shape, and I feel like I got all that down packed again. So, and I feel like I'm way more explosive.
All right, Ruben, we're gonna go back behind the lights to the left side.
Ruben, just how much of a luxury is it to have a defense that's able to do what they did in the first half while y'all are kind of getting your footing going, and just how big was that for you guys?
That's real big. That's 2 games in a row. Defense have been able to get stops for us, and then getting stops for us so we can do what we need to do. They've been playing their butts off, and it's just Coach Elko that defensive play calling. Think about it, and then it's like that in practice too. Going against that defense, something else. So, and then the whole world just gets to see it.
All right, we're going to finish up on the left side. We're going to go to Alex and then Olin.
What are you just learning about this team as you guys are starting to stack wins and find ways to win in different ways?
What would you say?
I said, what are you learning about your team as you guys are starting to stack wins and also win in different ways?
We just learning week by week that sometimes some games you gonna have to lean on defense, some games you have to lean on offense. But once we get it all together, offense and defense balling, it's gonna be a lot of people gonna be in trouble.
All right, Olin, finish us off.
Ruben, what do you think or suspect that the reaction in El Campo is tonight?
I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty happy. We Aggies win, and El Campo native had a good game. So I'm pretty sure I got a lot of texts on my phone right now. I haven't even checked my phone yet. So yeah, yes sir.
All right, Ruben, thanks.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Good work. Up here. All right, we got Damon Sanford making his media debut, so we're gonna keep it short. Who wants to get him started? We're gonna go right here on the front row, right? Travis Brown from KBTX.
Hey, Damon. Ruben was just in here talking about some of the conversations y'all have about just being ready for when your time comes. What do you remember about some of those conversations you've had and how y'all kind of bonded over being that next man up when y'all both had the opportunity tonight?
Yeah, that was real recent. We had a lot of conversations because we have the same kind of similar classes, and we just been talking about like being patient, staying ready, and whenever opportunity comes, we just go and do what we do and trusting our keys and go out there and ball, and that's what he did today.
And when Coach Elko comes to you early and says like, "Hey, you're that next guy up, you got to be ready," what was your response to that?
My motto is always stay ready. You can't have the depth be like the guy just be a drop off, like the second guy in be a drop off. So I just stay ready, trust my keys, trust my coaching, and honestly just go out there and make plays. So that's what I did.
Let's go left side, second row to Alex Miller from the Eagle, and then Olin.
Take us through the interception, what you saw, and just was that the first interception you've had?
Yeah, that's my first one. Yeah, I was in man coverage, and honestly, I knew he was gonna throw the ball, but as soon as I seen the ball in the air, it was like kind of wobbly. So I just ran to it and, prayed to God and, caught it. And I tried to go score, but, my legs was a little tired, a little dead, so.
What do you think has allowed you to maintain the success that you had these last 3 weeks, starting with when you came into the game at Notre Dame?
I really say trusting my coaching and trusting my brothers around me, They helped me, play faster. The communication and the brotherly stuff we have allowed me to play faster, so I feel like that plays a big role in my, plays that I made.
Stay on the left side, Olin Buchanan from Texags.
Yeah, hey, Damien. Obviously in that first quarter, Mississippi State had that one drive for the field goal, but where they ran the ball pretty successfully. And then after that, they really struggled to run the ball. Anything that y'all did differently? Why do you think it was so much different after that open, or I guess it was the second drive of the
They
game?
had a big run on us the first drive, so I feel like they had momentum to keep really the drive keep going. So, like the second drive after that, we kind of stopped the run and stopped their momentum, so they really couldn't get any tempo going. So I feel like that. Oh no, we just did what we needed to do, play our keys, play the run. We misfit. We misfit the run the first half, which allowed them to have that big explosive play, which allowed them to go tempo. So the next drive, we just played our keys and just fit the right gaps. Yeah.
Stay on the left side to Aaron from SI.com, and then Tony and Carter.
Hey, Damien, kind of going back to what Olin was talking about, that very first drive, you guys had 2 sacks, and just what message do you think that sent to Mississippi State tonight?
I knew, coming in the game, we needed to bring pressure on the QB. The QB is their top guy, so, getting pressure on the QB is going to really, mess with the offense. So, we just got after QB, yeah.
Right here, that's Tony from Austin American Statesman.
Damien, obviously, you've made a lot of big impact with the sacks and finding the way to the quarterback. What about this defense has allowed you to kind of flourish and do your thing here?
Really just, like I said earlier, communication and, trusting my coaching, trusting the brothers around me to do their job, and ultimately everybody, do their job and make plays. Yeah.
And preparation-wise, when Scooby went down, did it change your mindset at all, how you approached it? And, obviously, big opportunity for you to step in here.
Nah, my approach wasn't really different. I'm the same person every day. My preparation is going to be the same. I just knew coming in that I was going to stay ready and be ready, and ultimately I stayed ready and made plays, yeah.
We're going to go to Carter from 247 and finish with TV back there.
Damien, what's your relationship like with Scooby, and just how has he kind of helped you grow with you behind him?
Yeah, that's my dog. We talk every day. I learn a lot from him, during practices and stuff. He's a baller. He could ball. So we talk every day. He gives me keys. We do little side bets, not money bets, but little side bets on plays and stuff, and who can make plays. And yeah, he keeps a competitive spirit in the room.
Just with this being a first time we've talked to you, just what went into your decision to come to A&M, and how do you think it's been for you?
A&M's been my dream school since I was young. I didn't really think, coming out of high school, I didn't really think I was going to come here or get the opportunity to come here. But, my mom played a big role in that. She helped me through, my whole process. And, she spent hours and hours and hours and, long miles, long drives to get me to camps and stuff like that. So I feel like, and she wanted me to stay home, so close to home, that's a really big factor too. So that's a big, yeah.
All right, Damien, we're going to go back behind the lights, the TV, on the left side.
With the way the first half kind of went, with both offenses struggling a little bit, how much faith did you have in the offense that, y'all keep getting stops in there to eventually be able to turn it on?
Yeah, I had a lot of faith in the offense. They don't really hang their heads ever. So, I had a lot of faith in, I had trust in our defense to go out there and keep getting stops. So, ultimately, trusting offense, yeah.
And we'll finish with Donna back behind the lights.
Damien, when you have these guys around you like Cassius Howell and Torian York, just what have you been able to learn from them, and how have they helped you grow your game?
I learned a lot from York. His preparation, coming into the games, every week. I learned a lot from him, just diagnosing plays and stuff like that. And then Cash, I really don't be talking in the D-line room, but he got a competitive spirit. So I take that and I learn from that. And he keeps me going in all the sacks he makes and stuff like that.
All right, that's a wrap.
Appreciate
Go
it.
see your family.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice job. to the podium. Well done. Who wants to get us started? Let's go to left side. We'll go with Alex Miller from the Eagle and Aaron from SI.
Mario, just first, what was it like playing your former team, and did this one mean a little more to you?
Those guys played great. It was a tough physical game. I feel like a lot of those guys had played great on the other side, offensive ball, on the offensive side. So, yeah, it was a great game.
You know, what really you feel like changed there late in that third quarter that allowed you guys to have some sustained success on offense finally?
Offense just started clicking. We started getting positive yardage on first down. That's what helped us a lot. Just getting the drive going and just starting the drives that were keeping us going, keeping the long drives, and just putting it in the end zone.
We're still on the left side to Aaron.
Hey Mario, just wondering, what was the message, if anything, at halftime that kind of had you guys flip the switch?
Just go out there and play a perfect third and fourth quarter. Play as perfect as we can, because that first half it was penalty ridden and it was a whole bunch of penalties. We were shooting ourselves in the foot. We felt like we wasn't playing bad. They wasn't doing anything to really hurt us. We were just killing ourselves, and yeah, coach told us to go out there and just play penalty-free football, and we'll see what happens.
Let's go right side front to Travis.
On your touchdown run, what did that mean to you in this game against that team? And was that one drawn up to get you a score in this game?
Definitely. It was just another touchdown. Nothing crazy, nothing new. Just another touchdown.
And how much do you feel like y'all's ability to kind of run those jet sweep rushes helps open things up for the running backs up the middle?
Oh, it opens up things for the running back and the quarterback. You know, that little option game that we have is just dynamic and a great option for us.
Let's go to left side to Owen here in the front row.
Well, Mario, the question that I was going to ask has already been asked, so I'll ask you, first of all, what was Elko like at halftime?
He was fired up on our butts about all the penalties. He definitely wasn't happy.
Okay. And then have you noticed, I guess maybe since the Notre Dame game, have you noticed defenses, covering you any differently or taking a different approach, or is it just the same? And sometimes you have big games, and sometimes it's going to be KC. How's that dynamic?
Oh yeah, that's what happens when you have early success early in the season. Just the defense sliding coverage to me or doubling me, anything, it just opens up opportunities for KC, ABR, Terry, a lot of the running backs. So yeah.
Let's go right side front to Tony from the Austin American-Statesman.
Mario, it looked like there was some conversation there with the defensive backs early on with you, and do those things kind of motivate you, and did that kind of slow down a little bit as the offense got going in the second half?
You can't motivate me any more than I already was. So, my job out there is to go win. So, anything you say can't really change my day because I'm already going my hardest.
All right, Mario, we're going to go back behind the lights, left side of the TV row.
When the run game tallies almost 300 yards, just what does that do for that passing game? Does it feel like it kind of opens things up a little bit?
Most definitely. I think early on in the season, people were thinking that we can't run the ball, and our run was pretty inconsistent. But I guess they see now that we have the best running back group in the country.
Let's go left side front to Mark.
And also O-line.
Yeah. Passwaters from on 3.
Can't forget my big boys.
Mario, speaking of running, what did you guys think when you saw that there were going to be sweeps for you guys in the playbook this week? You kind of enjoy that a little bit, just getting the ball and being able to run with it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just get the ball in my hands quick. Really no complications of am I not going to get the ball or not. It's just what I'm going to do with it. So I really love that.
Questions? All right, that's a wrap.
Thanks,
y'all.
Mario.